What a day it is here at Rothwell Park. It is the first time that Briars have played a finals match on Rothwell Park in the century they've called this place home. And on paper, it's a Newport home match. They are the higher qualified side. But I tell you what, this might be the biggest crowd of 1918 I've seen here in a decade with this club. It is 1v2. Neither will be eliminated should they lose, but a grand final berth direct is what's up for grabs here. It is that sort of day. It has been that sort of finals already, and it's been that sort of competition where you just never know. Newport have 2 wins over Briars in the regular season so far. Not surprising at all, but the bad omen for Newport, rather, is that the only time they've come to Rothwell Park in the last decade, well, they lost by a point. 6 from 7 is their record in the prior 10 years. No guarantees today. It's a brand new season, essentially. Newport have brought their faithful down Barrenjoey Road today. St Pat's will form a guard of honour, an extended guard of honour for Briars. It is almost a grand final atmosphere here, as one of these teams will cement their place on that Sunday, or that Saturday rather, at Concord Oval. And Newport almost run through the Briars tunnel and are quickly redirected, and out come the Breakers onto Rothwell Park. Only the second time in the last decade Newport first have played at this hallowed venue for the Briars. And speaking of, here they come. It was an aborted Hudson Rothwell Cup, the Parramatta Road Classic. We only had the one leg. The second leg cancelled. Forget about it. But it shows you it's a friendly rivalry, and to be honest, the theme of this season has been anyone but Newport. Runaway club champions, runaway first grade Barraclough Cup minor premiers. But as we said, it all means nothing now. We're in the finals. Will Newport go 3-0? Or will Briars say, well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but we'll see you in the grand final possibly. Newport Briars could easily meet in the grand final, of course. Loser goes to next week's prelims. And we'll keep an eye around the grounds between Hills and UNSW as well in that minor prelim at Yattendon Oval. For the first time in over a century since this club was founded, Briars are kicking off a finals match on their home patch, and here we go. It's been stolen by the Briars. It's an advantage. It's a knock-on. It's a terrible start for Newport. Briars capable of an ambush, and they'll know it. And that quick, jittery knock-on by Zion Epperhart isn't going to mean much, because all it will do is end the advantage. And in the opening 30 seconds, Briars are going to have a scrum right outside the 4 and 22 metre line of Newport. We expect a mammoth crowd in front of us. The Newport faithful all went down to the sideline, cheered their team onto Rothwell in a second grade loss. 19-12, they went down to St Pat's, 32-26. So 2 games to St Patrick the last 2 games, 2 games to Newport prior to that. Newport going for their 3rd win of the afternoon. Briars going 1 from 1 with a win here, and it's a good short ball inside, and Ibrahim is brought down in front of the sticks 20 metres out. They go through the back hands, and now it's Jerome Williams carrying this up, making metres through the 4 and 22 metre zone. Briars trying to find an overlap somewhere. You think it would have to come, but not at the moment. Petherbridge is the 9, out to Medeiros in the 8 jumper. Not making a lot of forward progress, and it's a penalty to Newport for not releasing by the look of it. Player was held and went over the feet, and that is an illegal move. Newport will get out of trouble. A reminder, this major semi-final between Newport and Briars, it's 1 versus 2. Newport just the 1 loss this season, and it was back in round 8 away at UNSW. Briars, it's been up and down. Newport have a pair of victories over them from the 2 clashes, as this kick barely clears the sideline. A late loss in the season to Beecroft, and then really before that, the only other loss was to St Pat's early on. Don't forget, Briars draw with UNSW ended up coming into the fold as we went into Super Subby Saturday last week. Almost squinting that throw. It's good enough, says the referee, and here come Newport towards 4 and 20 halfway, and indeed over it, and still making metres post contact, and now beyond the 10 metres line.
Go, get back.
Bit of a false start there from the back of the ruck, but now through the hands of Nick Fretton in the 15. Far side of the field so far for Newport, about 30 away now. Solid tackle. Might have been a touch too tall, but Cosmos wraps him up. Inside ball to Upton. Popped out the back for Hunter Shade. Newport building slowly, inch by inch, towards this Briars goal line. 5 metres or less now, short of the 4 and 22 metre line at the other end of the field. Penalty advantage being played out. It's a high tackle from the secondary signal, and Newport are in the red zone and moving forward still, and still going to about 10 metres away, maybe even less. Newport on the attack very early now after their mistake earlier on. Is that going to be considered a knock on? It will. So to end the advantage, back we go, arm up in the air from the referee. Quick tap taken, thought the referee was trying to have a chat, but I think he was just summoning Briars to go back. Solid, don't argue, and popped out onto the wing of Tom Ball. It's another penalty advantage, and Newport will continue the attack, and discipline has been an issue for the Briars, particularly in this first grade side. They got plenty of talent, and in the prior 2 meetings in this head-to-head series between these two clubs, too many points conceded off of penalties, and already Potomarke is being called into the principal's office. And I don't think it takes a lip reader to work out what the referee's saying there. Has to clean it up. Sebastian Allen in the 9 will get us back underway. Set play tap coming. Wrap around, it's a beautiful ball in the inside. It makes all of about 1 metres. Forward progress, but here they go with an overlap. It's a solid tackle, it's probably high. In any case, and it's Nick Fretton with the try for Newport to open up the scoring, and the sidelines are loving it. Newport 5, Briars 0, kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. They flip the field off a Briars error, and Poto Maake once again in conversation with the referee.
High tackle.
And Tyson Ibrahim's been shown a yellow card for a high tackle. Well, that's absolute disaster for Briars. You could have argued it might have been a penalty try had they not scored legally anyway. And Briars are going to play, after 5 minutes, the next 10 down a man. That's a horrible result for the men in gold. It is not the shade of yellow they wanted to see being hoisted in the air by the referee. Jeremy Allen's kick will be about 23 from the goal line and 5 in from touch. Comes in, strikes it, it's hooking back. Is it going to make the distance? Yes, it will. Newport 7, Briars 0 on the Gage Road scoreboard. Maake will get us back underway, and this time goes deeper with the kick-off beyond the 4 and 22 metres line. And it's Allen to Allen for the sideline. That's Jeremy hoisting it over. Petherbridge wanted it quick, but encounters the perimeter rope. Line out will set about 35 away from Newport's goal line. Briars on the attack here. Douglas Roach to throw in. Looking for Shaw, finds him. Referee says it's straight. Out the back to Medeiros from Petherbridge. Solid run as we expect from Adam. 30 away now from the Newport goal line. Tough ruck, strong counter ruck from Newport, and they've picked it up. Pilfered by Newport. Briars turnover once again in positive territory. Thought the referee was saying that was a tackle there, but he was actually saying the ball had come out, and now the Briars are stolen it back. Anything you can do, I can do better, they say, and it's Petherbridge at the back again. Out the back, I think that's Tui Tupou to kick through the Tongan international for the Ikali Tahi, and it goes out the back now to Nick Fretton to clean up for the Breakers. Counter-attack coming right over the 4 and 22 metres line. They're about 26 away from their own line. Arms go up everywhere, most notably the Briars sideline. Referee keeps his down, and we play on as Newport continue to crawl towards the 10 metres line on the wrong side of halfway for them, and now have big numbers if they can get them out there, and they can't at the moment, and they stay on the far side of the field. Bit of a positional reshuffle with Ibrahim off on that yellow card with about 7 minutes of that remaining as there's a strong tackle. Sam Tui Tupou now acting outside centre. Big overlap here, players out of position, gets around Epi Hart, Tui Tupou giving chase, ball's thrown to no one, it comes back with Cosmos, and Briars have it through the hands of Andrew Gardner in the 7. Still feeling each other out here, Tui Tupou again goes out the back, a tumbling old punt here. Rolling towards the goal line, but it's probably going to go too long. And you'd have to imagine the scrum option will be what Newport decide to take here. Just a bit of a speculator, not sure the rest of the back line were up for it. Newport ball. Plenty of familiar faces have made their way down to Rothwell Park today. Old boys, current players from other grades. Plenty of representation from the Briars Sports Club as well. Good to see them down supporting the rugby department here on what could be a monumental day. It's probably worth noting, the last time the Briars were in a Barraclough Cup Grand Final was 2011, well before my time here. Last time they took out this competition was 1997. Newport, well, they win the scrum, but there's a penalty against them. And the front rowers from the Breakers are not happy, but they have to be careful not to cross the line of referee abuse and potentially end up a man down and even this back up. I'm not sure how the competition point deductions would work if a team was found guilty of referee abuse in the finals, but we don't want to know. Touch is found. 33 or so away from Newport's goal line. Newport 7, Briars 0 on the Gage Road scoreboard, and around the grounds it's good news for the home side at Yattendon. 10-0 they lead over UNSW. It's an untidy line out back to Tui Tupou again, who throws it off the face of Maake, and there's all sorts of trouble here, but that is a knock-on by the Breakers. But it's been ruled a knock-on first by the Briars. Well, I'm not sure that's a knock-on. Poto Maake has just cocked the headbutt of all headbutts from that Gilbert. It's a Falcon. In any case, it's a Newport scrum, 40.5 metres from Briars line, looking to extend this lead. About 4.5 minutes remaining on the yellow card, so it's over the halfway point. Newport have been throwing everything they can at Briars, but at some point, you just have to wonder, is that man advantage going to hurt? It's a strong scrum from the Briars, and it's knocked on as well at the back. The Briars forward pack has been much talked about, not just this season, but in past years. And they are turning the screws on the Breakers. They're going to have to find a way to get some dominance back at the scrummage. It'll be 44.5 from their own line, the Briars, this scrum. And every second that ball's not in play is an extra second off that yellow card. And we creep closer to 15 on 15 once more. Fed by Petherbridge, and it's being driven by Petherbridge and the forwards of Briars. Petherbridge riding this scrum like he's got a quadrella on at Flemington, and he gets the advantage eventually. Maake Outside again to Silver, I think that is in the 13, and they're trying to find the overlap here, and has that been knocked on by the Briars? No arm signal as of yet. Briars have possession, referee was okay with however that ball came out. Muderis over 4 and 20 halfway once more. Forward momentum has been temporarily arrested. Meliasea does well to hold on to that and get over the halfway line. Back they go to Tui Tupo, basically acting as a 10 with Maake outside, kick chase. A little bit of a karate kick catch there, but it's fine. Maake wraps him up and is assisted by Gardner as they're being driven backwards. Is that a maul? Is it a tackle? What's the referee going to do? It is a maul. It's a turnover maul, and it's a Briars possession, 25 away. About 2, maybe 3 minutes remaining on this yellow card. And Newport now find themselves buried deep into their own half with a dominant Briars scrum looming on them. Last year, the Breakers went to the big dance and got beaten by an undefeated Linfield. Before that, they were the Barraclough Cup premiers of 2022. They have been by far the best team in this Barraclough Cup competition this season. And if you look at the club championships, no surprise, they have been the top team of this division as a whole. Can the Briars pull out an absolute upset on their home turf? Petherbridge, short ball, Lee Silver. Lee Silver, can he get space? Lee Silver's through! Try time, Briars! There's a response, a man down. Briars 5, Newport 7, kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard, and all it's got to be is a chip shot. Three scrums in a row, won by the Briars. Can't call them the home side today, at least not officially. And when you have a strong scrummaging game, you open up a lot of space for your backs like we just saw. Chandre Lee Silver, what a talent he has been for this Briars first 15 this season. Leroy Kelly from right in front of the sticks, he pops it over, and that's Briars 7, Newport 7 on the Gage Road scoreboard. Grandparents and parents and family in the crowd for Leroy Kelly, who started off this season as a Colt. A pretty handy one at that. Gets called up late into the season to first grade. They handed in the kicking tee a few weeks ago at Yattendon Oval in that close victory for the men in gold on the belt. Makes no mistake off the tee this time, level ball game. Shaw fields it, and it goes backwards. Tui Tupo gets the broom out, cleans it up at the back, and keeps it going. Has Slade outside him, who gets about 30 away from his own line, and the Briars are out of their 4 and 22 metre zone. I think that's Meliasea taking another strong carry, as we've come to expect from him all season. Tui Tupo. Strong carry, maybe collared, and that's Williams being collared, and it is a penalty. And Newport, as this yellow card looks like it's about to expire if it hasn't already, have to be careful they don't find themselves down on the wrong side of the ledger either. Tyson Ibrahim on the sideline, he gets the tap on the shoulder, and we might be back to level pegging here in more ways than one. Maake boots this deep into Briars' corner. It's a fantastic kick. Where are the ARs going to mark this? 33 or so away. Here we go, 15 aside, back to regular programming, 7-all, back to square one. And Newport go, well, we can't get the scrums, but we'll take your line out, thank you very much. Breakers in possession, deep in their own end, 30 away from their own stripe. Strong pick and go, trying to crawl out over the gain line and out of danger. Short carry, doesn't make much progress, but gets a metre over the previous gain line. Moving laterally, moving towards centre field, now making some forward progress through Sebastian Allen in the 9. 44, make it 45 metres away. Still picking and driving. Newport really turning the screws now on the short onside line here for Briars. They go the high kick. It's breaking towards touch. And we have a whistle. So we might be having a chat here. I just hope there's nothing in back play that will jeopardise us having level footing. AR has a flag out. Is that just to hold the mark? And here we go.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Yes, goal. Yeah, and then down. Okay. Captain, please.
So the Briars will be talked to first. Might just be a bit of push and shove here, but once again, Maake being addressed by the referee.
Against your team. We haven't got a number this time. Anymore. They're going to sit down. And they're going to go against your team. Playing the men's head on the ground. Have a chat to your boys.
And if I know my body language well, that's just to have a chat. And the referee, he is going to address Newport.
The number. If it was,
it's a penalty. I'm hoping that's an illegal clean out, not a punch. And if it was a punch, it should have been a card. But I'm assuming there was something in the clean out the referee signalled there. There was a bit of argy-bargy, bit of handbags after, but didn't see anything too untoward there. As we approach the halfway mark of this first half. It's a strong punt, but it's not going to find touch. Petherbridge thought about kicking for touch, doesn't. Goes to Tui Tupou. It's a little sidewinding torpedo. Finds touch about 10 metres from halfway. And right over the perimeter fence to cut out any chance of a quick line out. It'll be right on the 10 metres line, in fact. Still Newport 7, Briars 7, Gage Road scoreboard. Newport trying something, and it's been stolen by Zion Epperha for the Briars, so they go tit for tat on line-outs against their head. Maake driving through the middle towards halfway, brought down right on top of it. Petherbridge goes blindside, back out to Tui Tupou. It's a wobbly old kick, this one. It's a massive Gary Owen. It's put down, and it's been recovered, but put down on the ground. Ibrahim making a statement as soon as he returns from that yellow card. And again, well, the Briars do not want to turn this over, because last time they had a scrum this end of the field, they put in 7 points after.
Captain. That's close. Okay.
And again, captain's in.
Okay.
The headmaster will address his pupils. Nothing doing, I don't think. It'll just be the scrum. Let them play. Scrum to the Briars right on Newport's own 4 and 22 metres line.
Need to hold in the block.
Adam Muderis turns to his sideline, and as he's done all season, is trying to G up his troops. Petherbridge will get his crop out here, assuming this ball goes behind his hooker's feet, and start riding this all the way to the finishing post. Here comes the shove. Don't think the Beatles made a song like that, but it sounds somewhat familiar. Still wants it. Here we go. Foot on the accelerator. It's well stopped by Newport, but Maake almost goes through the middle and is brought down finally about 7.5 away from the goal line. Fraser Shaw, he can score him from close range. We've seen that over the past several seasons. Outside Roach, Epperha looking for the 5 metre line, gets it. In fact, gets over it. Petherbridge has numbers outside him, goes inside, and that's Peter Cosmas. Cosmas driving towards the goal post, but they bring him down short. Back they go to Meleasea. Good luck stopping him if he gets ahead of steam, and he's brought down about a metre short. Still with the Briars at the back. Tui Tupou shows it, goes and scores! Try time again to the Briars. Briars Briars 12, Newport 7, kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. What a dangerous backline this has been for the Briars this season. And as soon as they have started to click, they have been damn near unstoppable when they get free ball. And while we wait for this kick, I'll put this on the record and apologise to the players last week that I assumed were all Tongan descent. Thought they had come through the sevens. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and I put my foot in it, and I apologise to them privately, but I will put that on public record as well. Kelly in front of his friends and family here to put Briars 7 points ahead of the minor premiers. Are we going to see another Rothwell blow over here? Or boil over even? Kelly, 12 and a half in from touch, right on the 4 and 22 metres line. This one, I think he's gone the sand wedge. He needed the 5 iron there. It fades away. Briars 12, Newport 7, Gage Road scoreboard. Newport kicking off once again. Starting to make a habit of it. Don't want to be doing that for too long in this sort of tense encounter. 30 away from their own line, the Briars restart. Just about inside. Oh, there was a knock on there potentially. Referee says off the shin and knocked back. Fortuitous for the men in gold. Well, how about that? Petherbridge kicks from the box. After Newport do their best Superman impression, they put it down, it's knocked backwards, and it's with Oliver Osborne in the 12, who goes far sideline. Strong tackle there, referee keeps his arm down for the time being, stolen by the Briars, and the referee's going to allow it. Had to think about it. Meliasea, Kelly, inside to Gardner. Gardner had Shaw, didn't give it, holds it, goes to ground just beyond the 10. Who has the football? It's been knocked on by the Briars, and it's a Newport scrum, which given what we've seen the last 15 minutes, may not be all that much of a prize for them. They're going to have to find something here and flip the pressure right back on the Breakers. The minor premiers, we said, were at risk of being ambushed by a fast-starting Briars side. And while Newport scored first, it has been one-way traffic, and I tell you what, it hasn't been from Barrenjoey Road.
The goal behind Chris.
Feed about to come in, and does come in 38 away from their own line rather. Newport now short numbers. Outside they go, the kick. It's flying towards Tui Tupo, who holds it well. Tries to isolate the kick chasers, does so, and gets some help from Williams over the top along with Ibrahim. Strong clean out, but can't wait too long. Ball comes out, played backwards by Williams. What a bit of skill that was. And Petherbridge has it, going backwards now. Briars need their forwards to come and give him some support. Ball is available rather. Williams, Cosmos, brought down on the cricket pitch, 38 away. From their own line, the Briars, as my voice starts to go, can you blame me? Muderis with another strong carry. Petherbridge, Maake wraparound players on if they want it. They go the cutout to Slade, but it was maybe too ambitious, and it's put down by Pengy Slade on the wing. It was a hard pass to reel in fairness, and a bit of wind swirling around Rothwell Park as well.
We didn't see it.
So only a minor change around the grounds. Hills 12 leading UNSW nil at Yattendon in the minor semi-final. They will meet the loser of this one, and again, the winner straight through to the big dance, 2 weeks' time, Concord Oval. Newport looking to go into a third consecutive Barraclough Cup Grand Final. They're 1-1 over the past 2 years. Briars looking to return for the first time since 2011. Newport win their own scrum, and it's a free kick to them. Short arm penalty. play on.
Cover from the back.
And the tap wasn't taken on the
Got to be at
mark.
the back. You're going to go.
How often do we see that? Those little things. Tap taken 39 away from Briars Stripe. It's a 5-point game on the Gage Road scoreboard. That's it. 13 minutes or so remaining in this first half. Through the hands, Jeremy Allen out to Essenston. Essenston out the back to Tom Baum on the wing. Got to make sure he doesn't get bundled into touch, which is exactly what happens. But it's a penalty. No release by the tackler. Well, that's a line ball call. He's got a much better view of it than we do. But that is a let-off for Newport. Penalty will be 30 out from the Briars goal line. 5 in from touch right on the tram track. And Jeremy Allen will look for the sideline here. Gets it pretty much perfect. And the line out is going to be marked about, well, 8 metres short of the goal line. Not quite perfect, bit of wind swirling, but better to kick it shorter rather than give Briars the option of the dropout. Big line out on the way here. Stolen, batted back by the Briars, but now they're right on their own back fence. Well stolen by the Briars, who are now turning over scrums and lineouts. That's got to be warning signs for the runaway minor premiers. Petherbridge kicks. Can't call it offside when he retreats. And the sideline is found with that kick beyond the perimeter fence. And mercifully, in some ways, for Briars, Newport will be robbed of the opportunity to go quick. Can Newport find their man this time? Gardner runs in, gets set, almost overthrown, but Newport get this one as correct as they've gotten for the last few minutes. Cleared away by Sebastian Allen this time, heading towards touch, and it's kicked out on the full. The wheel's starting to fall off a bit here for Newport. You get the sense that they need to get to the orange slices without conceding any further points. Certainly not indicative of their dominance this season. And don't imagine that Briars can sweat on this happening too often. This one's overthrown, bounce of the ball goes to Newport, and it's been knocked on the bounce. Hard to blame them when the ball starts to bounce around like that. And it looks like Peter Cosmos has himself a bit of a blood injury here. Splits the lip. So time stops as we attend to the blood bin.
Jackson, last run, 3 goals, cranking, 3 goals.
I'll start.
So the blood's been wiped off. Cosmos will have to keep an eye on it, see whether it keeps bleeding.
Come back on.
They do not want to lose him if they can avoid it. He has been one of the main movers in this Briars squad so far in this Barraclough Cup major semi-final. Set call comes in, fed by Petherbridge. Here go the Briars forwards. And this time they go down, but the referee allows play to continue. Maake, big ball out the back to Tui Tupo. Outside Ibrahim to Slade. Ibrahim switching sides of the field here and causing massive headaches for Newport's defensive line, as they're about 35, maybe less away from Newport's stripe. Ball is slow to come, and it's Wobbly when it does. Knocked backwards, fielded by that man, Peter Cosmas again. No blood on the face that I can see from up here in the Ted Stockdale Pavilion. Meliasea, there's an advantage being played out as well. So the Briars will have the option, assuming play breaks down, which hopefully it won't for them. But Arcade and Muderis, short ball to Fraser Shaw. Shaw about 30 away now from the Newport stripe, looking for a third 4 and 20 metre pie. Penalty is called. Offside is the ruling by the look of it. Andrew Gardner asking for the time, which may influence whether this is a kick for the side or kick for goal. Personally, if it were me, I'd be going for the sideline and looking to extend this lead beyond a few scores, and that's exactly what the Briars are doing here. Kick finds the sideline, it goes right into Briars' corner. And look at the difference between that. Newport finding touch 7-8 metres short. That one's right on the tee mark. In that corner, Douglas Roach. Briars a try almost directly from a line out last week. Let's see what they have in store today against the Breakers. Roach throws in to Shaw. This time they go with him for the maul. The ball's at the back for Roach, but Briars not making a lot of forward progress. Trying to shear off here and get some help trying to reform this maul, and they're brought down about 5 metres short. Pick and drive comes, moving towards the stripe once more, looking for a third 4 and 20 metre pie, but they've got it wrong. No clear release, and there's a bit of afters on the ground here too. Is that Timothy Yancey just giving him a bit of a serve in the 8 jersey, possibly? Well, that's a big win for Newport, and it arrests the momentum of Briars, at least temporarily, but they've got to make sure they hold on to the football here, which almost did not happen. Deep inside their own 4 and 22 metre zone. Not looking to clear as of yet. Look like they want to run this out. Meliasea is taking a while to get back and retreat into this defensive line. This time they go out the back. Charge down is ineffective, but the kick is horribly skewed. And I think Maake's done an injury here. He's holding his arm. He might have a problem with an elbow or bicep or something else in that upper arm. Epihart caught on the back foot. Marke is going out the back. Briars with 14 in the attacking line at the moment. And I think this is a very similar injury to what he went off with a few weeks ago here. And there is really some concern about him in back play. Briars with it in the meantime, just short of the 4 and 22 metres line. They are playing with 14 at the moment. Tui Turpo kicking for touch. Needs a bounce for Slade, who's put it down. Briars are not going to die wondering. They're giving this a real red-hot crack. Knocked into touch about 10 metres from the Newport goal line, and it'll be the option of a scrum or a line-out, I imagine. And still a lot of concern about Maake and that left arm. I'm not sure if the Briars sideline even realised that Poto is out the back being attended to. Referee hasn't noticed it, and as I say that, he does. Time stops with about 5 minutes and 45 seconds or so remaining in this first half. Time back on. He's out the back. Referee says we have to play on. I'm just trying to see if Briars have the requisite numbers. We're playing with 14 still. Interchange not coming into the equation just yet. I think now they might have a replacement player coming on. Scrum fed by Newport. They go down in front of the referee. Both sides do, luckily. That would be a terrible place to concede a penalty. I think the Briars have had about a carton of Weet-Bix themselves each this morning, because they are really putting this pressure on Newport's forwards. Don't count them out just yet, but they're probably approaching the point of a standing 8 count if they can't get to the break without further points, or at least nullifying any score from Briars. fed and retained by Newport, and they go through the boot over the sideline. This one bounces beautifully for Slade. There's no quick line out available, or was there? Holds onto it and keeps himself, or gives himself a 10-metre advantage. Time ticking away on this first half. Well, I think Maake might have a dislocated shoulder. It looks like they're trying to get something back in. Petherbridge with it. Tackle was over the top, but it's one of those awkward ones where you could easily say the tackled player dives into it because of the nature of the bounce of the ball. It's with the Briars just beyond the 10 metres line in positive territory. Petherbridge out the back from the box, kicks into the 22 to put a lot of pressure on Newport's back line. Big ball out to Fretton, the try scorer, who boots it into touch, but rather unconvincingly, line out will be 10 away from touch. About 3.5 minutes remaining. Gage Road scoreboard still says Briars 12, leading the minor premiers Newport 7. Roach will throw in. I reckon there might be a numbers issue here for Newport. Referees playing it on. Pick and drive short, long side rather, open side. Cosmas at the back wants it quickly, gets it and support from Fraser Shaw. Epahar is there. He may have to play this now because there was no supporting men. He does play it. Petherbridge, Tui Tupo, doesn't give it. Now goes out to Williams. Williams out to Ibrahim. Talk about redemption. It's true time. Tyson Ibrahim in the corner. Briars 17, Newport 7. Kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. He goes from 0 to hero. Sent off for 10 minutes. 5 minutes into the game for a high tackle. 100 metres away from where he scores. A crucial try to put Briars 2 scores ahead of the minor premiers. Well, the good news for Newport is that there's only about 2 minutes before they can get to the halftime break, because they are going to need an absolute reset here to arrest this Briars side with a point to prove.
40 seconds.
Leroy Kelly, 3 metres in from touch, 25 away from the sticks. Toughest assignment of the afternoon, I would say.
3 goals improved, mate. Sorry. I'm not. Just repeat, please.
Kelly in front of his own sideline. Kicks it. It's a good-looking kick, but it fades away across the face of goal. No change. Briars 17, Newport 7 on the Gage Road scoreboard. And around the grounds, it looks like a nightmare for UNSW. Lucky to cling on to that 4th spot, given they had a bye last week. And currently, Hills 22 leads UNSW yet to score. So if this holds, which I have no faith that it will, but if this result holds, Newport will be playing Hills next week at Concord Oval. But there is still plenty of time for results to change. That kick is not convincing. It's knocked back by Newport, who go back to about 45 metres away. Seb Allen, big cutout ball now. I think that's Anstey again acting outside centre. Ball slow to come for the Breakers, trying to set something up and claw this deficit back as we approach the final 20 or 15 seconds of this first half unofficially. Strong carry, and now Newport rolling over the gain line and the Briars defensive line. They go short side, solid chop tackle by Roach, but so far they eventually get him to ground. We've just hit red time up here unofficially, and Newport have use of the ball in dangerous territory, but there are sore bodies down on the ground, including Riley Hayes in the 3, who gets up rather gingerly and is still in fact beyond the gain line. They go outside again, Newport. That's an awkward tackle and it will be penalised, as it should be. 35 in front of the goal. Play breaks down. Quick tap taken by Seb Allen. Not on the mark, it looks like. Well, we're going to have a chat here again. The referee, Fraser Shaw, now standing captain for Potomac, still being attended to at the northern goal line. Fraser Shaw having a debate with the referee, not sure he's going to win that. And the referee tells him, have a chat to your team. Too many penalties once again. Newport have to go for the line here. The 3 points puts them within a converted try. But they've got to find a way to arrest this Briars momentum. They are rolling over them like a freight train at the moment. And not just physically, but also, by the look of it, mentally as well. 15 metres out, line out will be from the Briars line. Good point made by my scoreboard attendant, my father George. Game, or half rather, cannot end on a penalty. We will resume until the ball goes out of play relatively legally. Fraser Shaw's got to be careful he doesn't take the jumper with him. Lost his footing there. Maul rolls forward, eventually halts, reforms again. Breakaway from the back here for Newport, and are brought down 10 away from the Briars line, about 5 metres outside the near upright. Breakers crawling forward towards the 5 metre line, and obviously the gain line. They try to get the backs to bite. They go through the forwards once again. The numbers are not there for Briars. It's 4 on 5. If they can get through their hands, they pick and drive again and are brought down short. Can't really make out a penalty. There's a penalty advantage. Can't make out the jumpers and who's got the ball at the moment. The penalty is right on the 5 metre line. Briars could find themselves down to 14 once more. Big carry over the gain line there for Newport. Can't crawl forward. He's still crawling forward. Referee realises it. Ends the advantage straight to the pocket by the look of it. Fraser Shaw is called in once again. And it's Peter Cosmas this time. Well, hang on a sec. What colour is it? It's yellow. I think it might have been a croc roll. And Peter Cosmas has been suspended for 10 minutes. Now, I'm not sure how they're going to time this because we are well into injury time now. They try and go around the back, and Newport cannot afford a mistake here. They have to capitalise on this opportunity before they get to the change rooms. Oliver Osborne. Still with it, being driven back. Is that a tackle? Is that a maul? It's a maul. That's going to end the half, and the Briars at the break are going to take the lead into the change rooms. There we go. Gage Road's scoreboard at halftime of the major semi-final. Who would have thought this scoreline? Briars 17, Newport 7. 40 minutes is all that separates one of these two teams from the grand final. The loser, it'll be a date with Hills by the look of it next week. 40 minutes is all that separates one of these two teams from the Barraclough Cup grand final. The loser will have to go the long way. 10 points, I don't think it holds. Briars are going to have to keep the pressure on. And for Newport, the answer is simple. You've got to defeat the Briars forwards one way or another. It's all to play for. Briars aiming for a first grade grand final since the 2014 McLean Cup grand final, which they lost to Harlequins, and a first Barraclough Cup grand final since 2011. You go back before that, their last first grade premiership, 2006's Clark Cup. There is a long way to go. Strap yourself in for the final 40 minutes of this major semi-final. Newport will kick off. They go deep towards the 4 and 22 metres line. They find Slade on the full. Have to wrap this man up, and they do. 20 metres from his own goal line. Still behind that 4 and 22 metre line in that zone. And Newport will not roll away from the tackle. And it's a penalty. And once again, a Newport player down. Physically grueling match so far. And just 27 seconds into this second half. Well, he's back on his feet now. Good to see. And Newport asking for a replacement here. This is not a good sign. Reminder, Briars in injury time had a sin bin against Peter Cosmas, their second sin bin of the game. So Briars now playing with 14. I'm just trying to have a look around and see if I can even see Poto Marco, who went off with an arm issue. And looks like, and I've said this before, unfortunately, his day might be over. I can't even see him on the sideline. That is not a good sign. Kick for touch, finds it comfortably. Almost takes one of the Newport sideline out. Well, there he is actually, strapped up on the physio table just about. Not a good sign for Poto Marco. His season may be over. It's stolen by Newport, that line out, and Newport being driven back. Is it a maul, is it a tackle? Because they've had issues today with turned over mauls that I don't think they've actually wanted to engage in. They go open side, it's a high tackle, Luke Herditch, penalty. And it's another discussion, the referee. And this is an issue that Briars dealt with early on in the season. They started to get it under control. But the new contact laws have been unkind. The referee, I don't think he's looking for a handkerchief. This could be 13 on 15, and it is. Mele Asea sent to the change room, sent to the naughty corner for the next 10 minutes as well. We're playing hybrid rugby today. It's rugby league against rugby union. Checking around the grounds for you out at Yatton de Novo, Hills 29 leading UNSW 0. And in the international, South Africa leading the Wallabies 21-0 after 54 minutes. So the Wallabies struggling, Newport struggling, and that line out is a struggle because the Briars have come up with possession. Tui Tupo, big cutout ball to Lee Silver, who almost gets it wrong. Jerome Williams, that one crept up high. Referee almost puts the arm out, doesn't, but there's a flag on the far side of the field, and he may reconsider that decision. Playing on at this point, Briars still behind their own 4 and 22 metre zone. Shaw, another tackle that was upright, we'll say. Don't think there was any sternum contact or higher. Go out the back. Tui Tupo, chip and chase out of nowhere, out of his own zone. Gets the bounce, but knocks it on. And it'll be whistled back. It'll be a scrum to pack about 27 away from Briars' goal line. Cannot afford to rest on their laurels or sit on their heels. Briars are going to have to fight for every ball possession here and keep this Newport Breakers side at bay. Cannot afford to get complacent.
Who's going off?
Big opportunity here for Newport. Two-man advantage from Briars ill discipline, which has cost them in both previous meetings between these clubs. Interchange being made. Sebastian Allen will feed this scrum. Newport on the attack. There has to be a hole somewhere in Briars' defensive line. Well, he's found it. Away they go. Jeremy Allen this time outside to the fullback in Nick Fenton for a double. Try-time Breakers. This one isn't over yet, not by a long way. Newport 12, Briars 17, kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. Well, we've talked about it all game. The Briars have to maintain their discipline, and after 2 yellow cards, and in fact the third one of the match, the Briars concede again. It had to come for Newport, and it does. Jeremy Allen, about 3 in from the sideline. He's taken it away his back, maybe 30-odd metres. Well, it's a Newport home game. by the letter of the laws. But the Briars home crowd at Rothwell Park is giving it to him. Not sure I agree with that, but such is subbies. It looks all right, but hooks it too far. Newport 12, Briars 17 on the Gage Road scoreboard. Tui Tupou, recovered by Shaw. Shaw towards the 422 metres line, inside ball to Malietoa. Malietoa! Try time, Briars! Oh my goodness me! Talk about returning serve. Briars 22, Newport 12, kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. Off their own kickoff. Well, that's almost indefensible. It's 13 on 15. You've got to have the numbers. You've got to find an advantage somewhere. There's two gaps in the line, and they've been opened up. Not quite at the point of being on life support for Newport, but they cannot let this get further and further away from them. So Leroy Kelly, somewhat mercifully maybe, relieved of his kicking duties, gets a chance to catch his breath instead of having to run 70-odd metres back. Upingi Slade from 25 from the goal line, about 2 metres in from touch. On his weaker side, draws it across the face of goal. Can he slot this and make the score gap double Newport's tally, or equal to it? It's not a bad looking strike, it's very good in fact. And it wasn't even Peggy Slade. Briars 24, Newport 12, Gage Road scoreboard. So Chandre Lee Silva kicks it. It's a 12-point gap. Newport have to climb up this hill to secure a direct berth in the grand final. Petherbridge from his own 22 plays it smartly, commercial play, kick finds touch, quick line out, thought better of it, Jack Hanley. And you can't blame him, it's a 15-metre loss he would have taken, and smartly goes, we'll take it, 45 from the Briars goal line instead of 40 from ours. Line out to come in. They get it wrong, the Briars. Newport, opposite, they get it right back into contact though. Ebihar puts him on his backside, and Newport, again, failing to make ground. That is much better, getting under the defensive line, and now really rolling over the gain line. Here come the breakers to break the hearts of the Rothwell crowd here, still with a one-man advantage at the very least. Slade has to get his skates on. That's Lee Silva rather, and he takes the mark smartly and will let his team get back on side and defend with as full a line as possible. Cosmos is still off the field, but is about to re-enter play to make it 14 on 15, with Meliasea surely now not that far off. Tui Tupou runs it out of his own end. I'm not sure I agree with that play. And they're brought down about 10 metres away from their own line, the Briars, if that. Ebihar, what a strong carry that is. But only about a metre or two over the gain line after the contact. Almost a caterpillar ruck there out the back. Box kick from Petherbridge. It's going to hang just about in the 22. Can you take a mark from your own kick? Well, no one catches it. Goes over the sideline. Line out to be 21 away from the Briars goal line. Newport down by 10 points. Certainly not a comfortable lead by any stretch of the imagination, particularly with about 30 minutes remaining in this major semi-final. This has been Newport's competition to lose in the last 3 seasons. The Briars haven't been within cooee of the finals, let alone a grand final, and they might not be yet. There is a flagging for a late tackle, and it'll be a Newport penalty. It'll be kickable to put them within a converted try if they don't get the 7 now. But they are looking for that exactly down the sideline, and it's a strong carry now, firmly established in the 4 and 22 metre zone now. Strong carry by Herdich. Setting up in front of the sticks. Now they go blindside, trying to find that remaining gap. And it's a show and go. And it's great work from Jeremy Allen to slice them open. Newport, there's the reply. 17 points. They trail to 22 with the kick to come on the Gage Road scoreboard. 24 rather. That is exactly what the Breakers need to get back into this match. Well, Meliasea is up from his seat. Looks like Ibrahim might be coming on as a replacement in lieu of Meliasea. Have to see how this one plays out. Communication going on the Briars sideline. So Allen, the try scorer, look to convert his own weakest side. Will be drawing it across the face of goal as the wind starts to pick up. Briars reinforcements getting warmed up on the sideline. Kick comes in. It doesn't look bad at all, but he's faded it across that left upright. No change to the score. Newport 17, Briars 24 on the Gage Road scoreboard.
Make sure someone comes off too, Chris. 14 coming back on as well. Is the car good to come on, Chris? Yes.
He's still sitting there.
Next play. Go.
Tui Tupo to kick off again, maybe looking for Shaw once more. Last time, score nullified by Shaw. This time they don't recover the kickoff, but Newport now have it deep in their own half. 30 away from their own line. They go blindside, there's an overlap there, but it's been put down. It'll be a scrum to the Briars just inside the tram track. And mark it about 27 from Newport's line. This is normally the point of the game where I'd mention the 1918 crowd, but I tell you what, from what we've seen today, we might be talking double, maybe triple that attendance in reality. St. Pat's came here, brought their army this morning. They went 2 from 2 against the Breakers, the club champions by some margin in the Reliance Shield. The Breakers have come here in numbers. They've come down Barrenjoey Road. They've made the long trek from the northern beaches, from the shores of the Pacific Ocean to the banks of the Parramatta River. And it looks like that yellow card has expired. We're back to even footing once more, 15 on 15. Ibrahim returns in lieu of Meliasea, who gets a bit of a spell. And Slade will come back onto this wing. Petherbridge, Newport finally now starting to neutralise that potent tight 5. They hold him pretty steady. Tui Tupo out the back to Williams. Ibrahim has space, gives it out to Slade. It's an awful bounce for him, but he recovers well. Over the 4 and 22 metres line, and he stays in just about, and it has to be Williams over the ball, and it's ruled a knock on. Newport will have a scrum deep in their own zone, but avoid any more points being conceded, at least for the time being. Mammoth bumper crowd here at Rothwell. Newport won't want to have to bring a big crowd to Concord Oval next week. They want to go straight through to the grand final, but it's certainly not a given. And at the moment, it's not on the cards unless they can find at least a converted try. Seb Allen to feed, deep in their own territory, can ill afford a turnover of any sort here. Gets hung up in the tight 5, but it's out the back now, and it's held, cleared away, almost late contact by Gardner, but he does well to restrain himself. Slade has room, has the cricket pitch, gets right through it, Penny Slade, right towards 30 metres or so away from Newport's line. Big overlap on the open side. Maliatoa outside now to Lee Silva, who gets back towards the 4 and 22 metres line. There goes Jerome Williams over the line, in fact. Offloads to Cosmos. Cosmos to the 5, and he's going to be brought down just short. Numbers are there for the Briars. If they can see him, they don't. They go to Tui Tupou. Tui Tupou! Tui Tupou is short. And held up, in fact. So it'll be a goal line dropout for the Breakers. Check your heart rate wherever you're watching from, because my one is going through the ceiling. Slade gets it again, trying to create something, gets around his first up chaser and gets through that tackle and towards the 4 and 22 metres line once again. Strong counter ruck by Newport, played off the ground. Muderis holds it by half a fingertip, if that. Briars still outside the red zone, trying to come up with further points. Tui Tupou thought about a drop goal there for a second, I think. Awkward tackle, and Newport have hurt themselves here. It might have been a head clash. It's a high tackle. It's kickable, 25 or so away, and not far outside the upright. There is some concern for a breaker. I think the player who actually made that tackle that was deemed illegal, is it an arm or chest, or is it a head injury? Well, he's holding his shoulder too. Is that a David Taylor rip your peck off moment? Now, Briars are appealing that this player should be yellow carded. Obviously, he's going off the field. Well, maybe that's a penalty enough in itself. As the player comes from the field, can't see who it is just yet. It might be, I think I have an idea of who it might be, but don't want to name him incorrectly. Yeah, he's straight off. It's an arm, and it's Lambert Laplastrier. As Briars opt for the goal kick. Lee Silva. Not too far off where Newport missed a penalty goal a few years ago that would have given him a win over the Briars at this very ground. Steps in, kicks it, strong strike, and straight down the hay diddle diddle. Briars 27, Newport 17 on the Gage Road scoreboard. No bonus points when it comes to finals. The equation is simple. Win and you're in. At the moment, the Briars are. And Muderis with a strong carry, but his heel was on the sideline. Now, the rule used to be that it mattered where the ball broke the plane of touch. Now, if the ball hadn't broken the plane of touch and he's taken it out of play, it'll be a Newport line-out, which is exactly what the referees are signalling. And I don't think that's the wrong call personally, even if it is disadvantageous to Briars. Newport, awkward line-out. They hold it, but it's been stolen by the Briars. But he's gone into touch Petherbridge. And with all that happening on the ground, I think the referee's just going to play the smart option here and just say, yeah, line out, Newport, get the ball. No TMO here. Newport will get a mulligan. Stolen by Kelly in the air. Bounces kindly for Slade, who's brought down 10 metres short. Awkward looking tackle, both only about half a yard off the ground. Petherbridge wants it, gets it. And there's a bit of silly stuff happening in back play, not in a first grade semi-final, and it'll be a 5 metre scrum, I reckon. Referee saying the ball just over the goal line, in front of it, in fact. Strong push from the Briars. They have to get this ball away ASAP. Don't give the Breakers a sniff. Muderis goes low, and he's brought down in his own end goal, and it will be a 5-metre scrum. Strong defence from Newport. Briars did not clear their line and have gifted the Breakers an opportunity to get within a penalty goal possibly. Just over half of this second half has elapsed. We've got about 19 minutes remaining. Sebastian Allen feeds. Blindside play is on. They go through the open side. Tui Tupo with a strong tackle to arrest the momentum of Osborne, but they pop it out the back here, and it's another strong carry by the Breakers towards the stripe and brought down just short of it. Good carry there from Anstey again. They want numbers. They don't have them open side. They might have to go blind. They actually don't. And they come back still with it, the Breakers. Still a few players trying to retreat. Very close to the line, if not over it. This time they go blindside. If they can get to the base of that goalpost, they can ground it on that, of course, for a 5-pointer. A 4-20 meat pie. Blindside held up. Anstey again, I think that is, who's brought down. Looks a bit like Jack Whiten from distance. Again, 4-man tackle by the Briars. Is it enough to hold them up? They hold him down short. Anstey wants it pick and go towards the goalpost again. Ball takes an age. Try time Newport. Well, I had a pretty good view of that. That one could have gone either way. Ball came loose, but I think he got it to the grass first. And how about that? Newport 22, Briars 27, kick to come just outside that far upright. Exactly what the Breakers needed, and once again it's off the back of ill discipline from Briars. Didn't clear their 22, offered Newport an opportunity, and it cost them with 17 minutes or so remaining. Can't afford to waste time here, the Breakers either. Haven't been scoring at a rapid rate necessarily of knots.
Yeah, good pictures, mate. Good pictures.
But cannot rush it either. Jeremy Allen, another attempted conversion. Kicks it, he's got it. Newport 24, Briars 27, game back on. Briars don't exactly book your grand final tickets just yet. This is going to be another close one. It's another grandstand finish here at Rothwell Park. Funny how after we build the Ted Stockdale Pavilion here, we get all these grandstand finishes. But if you don't love this sort of game and this sort of tension, then please check your pulse.
Come on, chase this kick off. Have you got the time, mate? Yeah, 15 to go.
Tui Tupo to kick off again. He's going to look for Shaw once more. He keeps it low. It may be too long, and it's been fielded by the Briars, who hasn't recovered it before it hits the ground. Newport with a scrum advantage, a minor advantage, 25 away from their own line. The referee's playing on here.
It's turnover.
Well, the advantage, there mustn't have been an advantage. Hello, Briars right over the 4 and 22 metres line once again. Right back on the attack, trying to cancel another Newport try.
Come on, Briars.
Gardner gets taken out from the side. They play on. Tui Tupo shows, goes to Lee Silver, and it's knocked on. And here come Newport on the counter-attack, maybe introduced to the sideline, but he does well to stay in. They're going to go short to the forwards, and Muderis with a solid hit to complete Gardner's tackle. Out the back they go, and they clear it from inside their own 22, but the phaser started beyond. 50-22 is an option, but it breaks back centre field. Jerome Williams fields it, doesn't want to go for the sideline on the full. Now thinks better of it. Dummies to no one. Newport aren't buying that, not for a second, and he's brought down 30 away from his own line. Maliatoa. Big cutout ball for Slade, almost throws it over the head of him. It's not Slade again. It is Chandra Lee Silver on the far side. Plays it to himself, not held. Right over halfway. Briars back on the attack. It's only a 3-point game on the Gage Road scoreboard. Strong counter ruck. They need support quickly, the Briars. They don't get it. Newport doing well now to stifle this Briars attack. Forwards are tiring. Looks like Meliasea and or Churchyard might be getting a spell in a second, or might be getting a stint rather, as Newport crawl over the 10 metres line. Still going forward. Now Newport right back on the attack. Chance to take the lead for the first time since the opening stanza. And early on at that. Slowing their attack down a bit, running out of steam by the look of it. Shade. Strong counter ruck. Briars want a penalty, don't get it. They go blindside and are wrapped up just inside the tram tracks now. Newport. Counter ruck has to be stronger. Ball comes out the back. And the referee is going to play a line out to the Briars. But there is some concern on the ground. One of the Briars, I think it is Pengy Slade, down injured. Time stops with about 13 and a half remaining. Sore bodies all over Rothwell Park. It's probably the best nick that this ground has been in all season, given the terrible weather and climate we've had this year. This is a grueling, physical, attritional game for a place in the biggest match in Div 2. Direct berth to the grand final. Loser looks like they'll be playing Hills next week in a prelim. Roach throws, just about finds short. It's untidy, well held. Tui Tupo shows goes, brought down 35 away from his own line. Batted around outside the back, it's all on the floor. Someone's going to call ball because it's just about an AFL ruck now. It's finally cleaned up by the Briars, who now slow it down. Meliasea, I think that is, back on the field, replacing Muderis. Out the back, Tui Tupo goes to Gary Owen. I think it's taken back, has to find the grass in the field of play, and it does. Has that been knocked on by Newport? I don't think it has. Not taken out of touch by the Briars. Very awkward looking contest there, and I think it'll be the option of a knock on or the line out. Newport have shied away from the scrum a bit after those earlier losses against the Head. This time they will have a crack.
15.
12 and a half unofficially remaining on the Gage Road scoreboard. Briars 3 points to the better. Probably not a great time to point out that Briars' best score against Newport in the last decade was 34 points in a 5-point loss to them in round 10 this season. Newport generally don't concede that many points to Briars, and even when they do, it hasn't been enough for the men in gold to finish on top. More changes being made by the Breakers.
21.
It is very tense as the sun continues to set behind the Ted Stockdale Pavilion. This may be the home stretch to book a ticket to Concord Oval in 2 Saturdays' time. Sebastian Allen to feed, and he's going to have to ride his forwards as much as he can upfield.
Give him space.
Scrum is pretty much stationary, held by Newport. They try and come up with a trick play through Hanley. Hanley outside to the 13 Essenston, I'm pretty sure it is, and right over the 4 and 22 metres line. Newport now right back on the attack and starting to build some momentum here, and it's a great carry by Upton over the gain line. Anstey chopped down, 20 away from the Briars stripe. A drop goal or penalty goal would equalise this game. And as we get closer to full time, worth mentioning, Newport finished higher. If we're locked up after all 80 minutes, Newport go through by default. Still rolling forward in Newport. Shade driving towards the 5 metre line, brought down. Briars have to get back and start driving Newport backwards as well. They can't do it at the moment. Newport making meters somewhat at will post contact. Trying to set something up here. They go towards the post. Tired forwards for the Briars now. Trying desperately to dig in. They go around the back. Who's that man again? It's Fretton. Fretton for a hat trick. Brought down short. Eventually almost snuck under there. Still with it, Newport. That's almost offside. Are we talking penalty try? It's not going to matter. And how about that, Northern Beaches? Newport 29 lead, Briars 27, kick to come. 5 For the first time since the first minutes of this match, Newport have an advantage on the scoreboard. Two-man advantage wasn't enough to put them ahead. 3 yellow cards wasn't enough to put them ahead. The Breakers now digging deep and showing why they are the form team in this competition. And I tell you what, not that they need any more support in my opinion, but they're really sending a message to subbies, hey, maybe we deserve a crack at the Div 1 comp next year. This is what the Breakers do. They break teams down. It's not just a nickname. It has been the key to their success as long as I can remember Briars playing them. Jeremy Allen to extend the lead to 4 points beyond a penalty or drop goal. Starts it wide, it's coming back, but not enough. 2-point game, Newport 29, Briars 27 on the Gage Road scoreboard. Briars making an interchange, Brodie Tierney coming on in the 23 jumper. The Briars are trying to set something up here and are now going to have to find a response. And look who it is, Tui Tupou looking for Fraser Shaw once more. Can he get this one right? This time maybe. It's an awkward looking contest, referee says. It's even, play on. Out the back they go and cleared away towards the Briars 4 and 22 metre line. Just about held onto by Jerome Williams. The back line might have to lead this charge back towards the lead. It's only a 2-point game. Any score will put Briars back in the lead as we're under 9 minutes remaining now unofficially. Meliasea brought down 45 away. It's been knocked on. Newport force a crucial error and will have a scrum 45 away. They have turned this game on its head into creeping ever closer to a week off and a grand final berth in 2 weeks' time.
Seconds.
The Breakers flag being waved on the sideline. The Newport supporters have come from 50-odd Ks away and they believe their team is on the cusp of another Barraclough Cup Grand Final. Big push by the Briars. Referee plays on and there's a big overlap here looking for Handley, but the kick's out on the full. Well, we've talked about the Briars ill discipline costing them. Maybe would have been better advised then for Newport to just take a minute, compose themselves and have a crack through their hands. Roach will get the Gilbert in his hands to throw in. Once again, bonus points don't factor into the equation once we get to finals. Briars have to win by a point or more to book themselves a grand final spot. Ties enough, well brought down by Kelly. Tui Tupou inside to Cosmos. Cosmos over halfway, almost bordering on a maul. They're going to have to use the ball now. I don't know what the Briars are arguing about. This is exactly the same thing that caused some turnovers. Once it has stopped, says the referee, and it goes to ground, unsuccessfully ends, and Newport are going to have a scrum 45 from their own line. Force the turnover. 6.5 or so remaining in this major semi-final. Briars are going to have to dig deep here and find something. Is it going to be a drop goal, a penalty goal, or can they find a fifth 4 and 20, or sorry, a fifth 6 4 and 20 meat pie of the game? Well, not according to Fuse Sport, but according to our scoreboard, it'd be a fifth 4 and 20 meat pie. There we go. Briars have pulled victory from the jaws of defeat against several top 4 teams this season. Not a position you want to be in into the dying stages of a semi-final, giving up any sort of lead. Strong push, and it's been healed! But recovered by Newport. Was that offside or is it legal? Play on, says the referee, and they're still with it. Sebastian Allen in the 9 jumper, pops it out the back around to Matt Alexander. Alexander trying to find an overlap, can't do so, brought down about 10 metres short, or about short of the 10 metres line. That sort of game, my apologies. Strong tackle from the Briars, that one high. Referee keeps his arm down, and it's a penalty. Went over the ball. Illegally so, Briars have it, but they need to go 60 metres if they want another 4 and 20 meat pie. I tell you what, I might need one after this game. Injury time is about 5 minutes remaining. But the Briars can't depend on a draw because there is no extra time in the finals. Has that been kept in play? It has. I thought they found the sideline, and eventually the knock-on will be played 25 away. 4.5 minutes remaining in what may be the biggest game in the last decade of Briars Rugby. At least since I've been at this club, this is the closest we've been to any form of major success in subbies. 2011, Briars lost in a Barraclough Cup Grand Final. 2019, we lost a McLean Cup Div 4 first grade Grand Final. And again, haven't had any first grade premierships since 2006, and that was in Div 3. For a long time, it seemed like Briars would not return to Division 2, full stop. And now, on the edge, if they can find points, of a Division 2 first grade grand final. Scrum will pack 25 away inside the tram tracks. It's a 2-point game. Any score will do. They have to keep it clean here. Newport, at the moment, are doing so. Eyes on the referee. Referee's got to put his arm out soon, but he doesn't. Tui Tupo doesn't give the short ball. Ibrahim, accidental knock-on. Briars will have the knock-on advantage. Tierney trying to get around his opposite number. Stays in. Brody Tierney still going. 15 away from the try line now. Any score will do. Ibrahim driving through the middle, and the Newport fans trying to get behind their team. 10 away now from the line, being warned about offside. Have to stay clean. On comes Ned Churchard. Penalty advantage. It would be kickable. Fraser Shaw with it. They want 7, they don't want the 3 just yet. That is the fallback plan. Around the back they go, and Tui Tupo setting up in front of the sticks. Referee's keeping his arm down and his whistle down at the moment. Meliasea driving towards the sticks. Still with it, the Briars. Petherbridge wants it quickly. Doesn't get it just yet, trying to get to the overlap. Zion Ebihar driving towards the 5-metre line. It's another penalty advantage. This one's in worse position though for the Briars, but it is closer to the goal line. Kelly in support of Meliasea. Over the ball go the men in gold. Fraser Shaw from short range. 4 metres, 3 metres maybe. Ebihar goes himself towards the goal line, still not there. Pick and drive, Meliasea blindside, I think that is. I'm losing my breath and I'm losing my voice. Here they go, the Briars! Arms go up, held up. Penalty advantage will play out, won't it? It's a try to the Briars! He blew the play dead, he's given the try after all that! Try time, Briars, 32-29 with the kick to come! Is it a try? Is it no try? The referee put his hand up. It was that the clock stopped. No try. It's a yellow card to the Briars. It's a penalty in front of the sticks with about 1:25 remaining. It's a 2-point game. A goal here puts them 1 point up. And I believe it's 60 seconds from the arrival of the kicking tee that you've got to kick it. Are the Briars going to kick it, or has is the referee ruling that a scrum because there were 2 penalty advantages playing out? So surely there's no advantage taken from that if it's held up. It's not kickable because it's not a penalty. The Briars are probably going to have the last use of the football here. Their destiny's in their hands. We go back, it's 29-27. Newport on their way to Concord Oval in 2 weeks' time for the grand final. Briars need points. They need anything here. Petherbridge feeds. Referee's about to say use it. Now it's use it. Tui Tupo. Shot ball, and it's knocked on. It's a knock on, and that'll put Newport through to the grand final just about. Not yet. There is a scrum still to play out. The referee has not signalled full time. He checked his watch. We still have about 5 seconds remaining as a player is down in cramp. Time stops. The referee is attending to an injury. Well, I've got to ask the question, with two penalty advantages, why we played the held up. I've been reliably informed that we went the scrum option, down 2 points with seconds remaining. Well, that might be an absolute gaffe unless Briars can turn over this scrum and kick to win it. Time resumes, we've hit red time. Unofficially, my hands are shaking, my voice is gone, my breath is gone. Can Newport dig in and hold up the Briars? Is 29 points enough to make the grand final? Fed, push, tight head. Cosmos, Petherbridge, Tui Tupo, gives it outside to Ibrahim. Ibrahim brought down short, 3 metres short. Who's there for the men in gold? Short ball, Gardner towards the line, brought down 4 away. Petherbridge, Tui Tupo, shows and goes himself, holds onto it. Petherbridge wants it, gets it. Short ball, Meliasea. Meliasea towards the line. Still going Meliasea, 4 metres away. The biggest phase of play in this game. Tui Tupo shows, goes, wrapped up well, can't pop it up. Churchyard seals it off legally, says the referee. Still driving forward the Briars, but have to find a way through, over or under. Fraser Shaw brought down. Who wants a shot at goal, possibly? Awkward looking tackle placed out the back. Petherbridge, Tui Tupo, Tui Tupo, Tui Tupo! Still good with it. Short, ball out the back. Petherbridge wants it, gives it away. It's awkward looking to Gardner. Briars now playing with the ball. Next stoppage ends it. Williams, Williams, Williams! Out the back, Cosmos! Doesn't give it. Briars need a penalty. You think Newport are not going to concede here. Going towards the goalpost. Drop short. Try time, Briars! Briars have done it! Briars have stolen it again at Rothwell Park! Newport's hoodoo at Rothwell might be continuing. The only place they have lost games to Briars in the last decade has been right where you're watching from now. And if that's the final whistle, the Briars are in a Barraclough Cup Grand Final for the first time since 2011. This game still isn't over until the referee blows the final whistle. It'll be Lee Silver to kick it and trying to do the maths. It'll be 34-29 with this kick. It would be an unconverted try, the gap, if the referee keeps playing. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I've already done that a few times today. Lee Silver. Lee Silver. Chandre Lee Silver with a chance to do what years ago seemed impossible. Kicks good. He kicks it. Referee's not moving. It's full time. The Briars are into a grand final in Division 2. What a season it's going to be. Briars write their name onto the first page of that grand final program. Unbelievable. It finishes up Briars 34, Newport 29, and they're going to be taking on Hills next week. I never thought I would see it. We were stuck in Division 4 for what seems like years and years and years. And there have been so many people who have dug in and been stubborn to keep pushing this club up the pyramid. Division 4, forget about it. Division 3, forget about it. Briars now in the top 2 of the top grade of Division 2. Barraclough Cup Grand Final at Concord Oval in 2 weeks' time. It'll be Briars taking on either Newport or Hills. It's an incredible victory. It's one that will go down in the history books, and it's another Rothwell boil over on the belt. Final score, Briars 34, Newport 29.
I told Ashley that. I told Molly that. Yeah. Oh, there's also Anthony's part of it. Anthony's there, right?
Yeah, he's there.
That's so cool. Yeah, I know. I can see. Yeah.
He's next to Danny.
His name's Danny. Oh, wow. Oh, is that like his nickname? Yeah.
He speaks a bit more than
Really? Oh, they're doing the shoot. This is a count on the shoot. That's a lot more hygienic.